Right, I have another core value video for you here. So a lot of times when I sit down with teams to come up with the core values, it's a tricky exercise, right? Because people aren't sure exactly what to write. But I always tell them to think about their core values as organic. These are the core values you have that you exhibit, right? So for instance, let's just say your team is always punctual. Showing up on time. That's a core value that is organic to your organization. There's also intentional core values. So these are core values you've explicitly set within the organization and people know about them. And then there's a third set that I would say are aspirational. These are core values that your team is aspiring to. So I'll ask the team to write down a mix match of different core values that they feel. So they get their post-it notes, they take 3 minutes, they write down a whole bunch of core values. And then I ask them to come up and put it on a board like this one. In this case, I have my one axis talking about emotional feel. Does the core value hit you? Do you feel the core value? Or is it just cerebral? If it's cerebral, maybe rewrite it. Try to come up with a way to make it more emotional so you feel it. On the bottom is authenticity. Does that core value authentically speak to the way your organization or your culture runs? So what I'll have the team do is they write them all down and then I ask them to place them up on the board. So I'll say a 10 out of 10 is where you want to be. That means that the core value is both emotional and it's authentic to the organization. So what happens is you start getting a plot chart like this. And I also tell team members they can move around other people's post-it notes. So as they start plotting them up on here, it becomes really clear kind of which core values are making sense to the organization. So somebody might come up and they might plot one here, and a teammate might come up and say, you know what, I don't really agree with it. I'm going to move this one over here. Somebody else might grab that same note and then move it over here. But after several minutes of doing this exercise, you're going to start to get patterns. You're going to start getting clustering, right? So once we get these all up on the board, let's just say we're dealing with something like this. What I want to do with the team is I want to work from the top and then work my way down. So I'll grab the top core value, and I'll just give a shout out to one of my clients. They had a core value the other day, which was we go to 11. It's pulled from an old Spinal Tap video. I think I'm probably dating myself when I say that, but we go to 11. I love that core value. They know what it means. So for them, they said their core value was an 11 out of 11. That's about as best you get. So we're going to put that core value over here. We're going to grab their second best core value. We're going to move this over here. If you've never done core values before in your organization, I would say keep them small. Keep them to like, in terms of quantity, keep them to 3 or 4. That's best. If you get to 5, you're kind of pushing it. 6, I wouldn't promote that, because if you don't have a core values practice, it's too damn hard to remember 6 core values. So keep it small. In this case, we get our first 2, and now we can start debating some of these. I'll grab this one, move it over. I'll grab this one, move it over. And I'll say to the team, do these 4 core values that we've set make sense for you? If they do, great. We're going to start with this. We'll take a picture of these and put them on a back burner, and we're going to start moving through our process of scaling up the organization in other areas. We're going to come back and we're going to take a look at these 4 next quarter to see if they're actually resonating with the team. We can always change this. Nothing is written in stone. This isn't the 10 Commandments.